Maya stood on the edge of the old iron bridge as a pale dawn crept up the horizon. The mist swirled gently around her ankles, and she gripped the chilled metal railing as if to anchor herself to reality. The world was waking, slow and reluctant. So was she. Just one more night, she had promised herself. One more chance to break free from the routine that had sanded away all her edges. Everything about her life was careful. The routines, the quiet friendships, even the fatigue. But since she'd met Alex, she started feeling more, brighter, exposed. He appeared as the first light slanted through the city, his hair still unbrushed and eyes alive with wild ideas. Alex never planned, never waited. He just arrived. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked, voice low enough for only her to hear. She shrugged, but her fingers fluttered at her sides. It's getting easier to be awake at sunrise. They stood, silent, letting the hush between them fill with everything they couldn't say aloud. It was Alex who finally broke the spell. He reached out, catching her hand in his, tentative but determined. The touch was nothing like she imagined. It was electric, breathless, as if the universe crackled in her palm and threatened to burst. She almost pulled away, afraid of how much of herself she'd left unguarded. But she didn't. Instead, Alex leaned into her space, his forehead almost touching hers. "You know," he murmured, "you're different now. I can feel it." Her heart stumbled. "Is that good?" she whispered. He smiled, soft and conspiratorial. "It's you. Everything you're afraid of. Every instinct to step back. I want all of that. If you fall, I'll fall with you." Maya laughed, then, a sound rough with relief. She pressed her forehead against his, the world narrowing until only their breaths, their heartbeats, and their trembling hands remained. Hours passed in a blur. Suddenly, their lives were a carousel. Her university lectures, his spontaneous artistry, late-night runs for cheap pizza, and hands always finding each other in crowded streets. The city became their playground, and everywhere the thrill escalated. Whispers in libraries, stolen glances across tables, a touch in the shadowed wings of a theater. Yet, there was a danger in the intensity. Every time he looked at her, Maya felt he could see everything. The parts she kept hidden even from herself. She fought the instinct to retreat, to guard her heart behind polite smiles and safe small talk. Alex wasn't safe. He set her on fire and dared her not to burn. One night, after a show she'd been too nervous to attend alone, he tugged her down side streets slick with new rain. "Trust me," he said, guiding her up the steps of an abandoned rooftop. The city lights below blurred into 1,000 possibilities, each one daring her to leap. She turned to him, the wind catching her hair, her mouth trembling with questions she'd never asked. "What if this is too much?" she said. "What if we break?" Alex cupped her face, thumbs gentle on her cheeks. "Everything worth loving is a risk. You can hide, or you can fly." She shut her eyes, willing calm into the shivering hope in her bones. "I'm still scared." "So am I," he admitted, pressing his lips to her brow. "That's how I know it's real." The weeks that followed were reckless and golden. In Alex, Maya found a fearless mirror, someone who didn't want her to shrink, but to expand. He loved her with the wild abandon of someone unafraid to be hurt. In return, she learned not to apologize for the chaos she brought. Still, life wove complications. Responsibilities waited in the periphery, her looming exams, his art school interviews. There were moments when anxiety clawed its way back in, moments when logic whispered that nothing this bright could last. But when she tried to pull back, Alex refused to let her fade. He reminded her, with every look and every touch, that love wasn't supposed to be perfect or painless. It was meant to change you, to make you braver than you thought possible. On the day she finally told him she loved him, truly, completely, there was no fanfare, no staged drama. Just the two of them on that old bridge at sunrise, tracing each other's fingers over the cold railings. "I was scared you'd let go," she confessed, voice raw. He squeezed her hand. "I was terrified you'd let me." She smiled, small and sure. "I don't think I could, even if I tried." He kissed her. A promise, a challenge, a surrender. In the quiet, the world rang with possibility, and Maya knew, as she fell a little more with every breath, that she was exactly where she was supposed to be. With him, she wasn't just seen, she was alive,